Hello, all. Welcome to another episode of Direction Stories. And today we have an online business manager, one of our guests. Please welcome Shiera McCullough. Shiera, welcome. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation.
Thank you so much for having me. Pleasure to be
And
here.
so I should accept, frankly, that I never heard about OBM, Online Business Manager, until I saw your profile on LinkedIn. So that something really hit me, and that's when I sent. Um, Again, people out there had many managers, but having online business manager was something which made me curious. Like I never heard about OBM as a term, but I'm in the online space for over a decade. And moment I googled, I did a YouTube search. Normally, the first thing I do is I search on Google, then I go to YouTube, then I search on LinkedIn or Facebook and different social media platforms. And like, how did I miss this term for so many years? So, could you please share your journey to being an OBM with our audience, Shiera?
Okay, so I started as a virtual assistant in 2018, and I was under the mentorship of Michaela Quinn. She has the Overwhelmed to Overbooked course, and once I started going through her course, she reached out to me, and as we talked, she told me that I should be an online business manager. And so I started there, and from 2019 till now, I have been working in that space. I initially started with coaches and Christian coaches and creatives, but I niched over to online generational and family-owned business owners and coaches, and that's who I help today.
Oh, okay. So that's Shiera McCullough OBM. So, what inspired you to become virtual assistant? I know you're a mother of three kids, based upon the kind of profile which I had gone through. But if anybody is watching this live, let us know through your comments as well, where you're watching from. Let us know if you would like to become an OBM. So we do have a coach who is experienced in being an online business manager. Again, that gives me goosebumps. But where did you get the inspiration? Like, did you um, try to? Nobody would dream to become a virtual assistant, but what inspired you to come into this particular journey of being an OBM? Apart from the coaching you had from this mentor or coach of yours.
Well, I have, like you said, I do have three children at home. At the time, I only had two. And my goal was to be more present at home, be more with them, as well as being able to have financial freedom. And once I, looked around to see what options were out there, I noticed the virtual assistant space. And since I have 10 plus years of customer experience and team management skills, I was like, why not? I would love to serve other women or other people in general, and help them with their businesses, help them take over the tasks that are, so tiresome, and help them be able to work on their business and their passion and what fuels them. So that's where I started in the VA space.
Yeah,
And
many.
oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
please continue. Please continue. I'm sorry to interrupt you there.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I was gonna say, and as an OBM, like I still am able to do that, but I take on more of like a strategist role of a um, more like a coach, a cheerleader, as well as an implementer. So it's kind of like I oversee the parts of your business for you, so that you can run your business efficiently and smoothly.
Okay. So, are there any owners, probably from the healthcare space, somebody whom you had helped, like anybody who's running their own private practice, be it in therapy or be it in counseling? Are there anybody from healthcare space, Shira?
I have spoken with a couple of therapists. One is a psychiatrist, and the other one She specializes mostly in health and wellness. And we pretty much set up a strategy for them to be able to set up their customer experiences and to set up their processes so that they can effortlessly gain more clients and more clientele and more exposure, and then run that part of their business more efficiently.
Awesome. I love the kind of transparency which you have on the website. Again, many people don't do that with the payment plan with $597 or $897 with the OBM again $2,400. So, are there any giveaways or are there any discounts? Something which everybody asks with the kind of plan which you have there. How do you filter? What is the strategy? What is the step-by-step strategy which anybody has to walk through?
Well, first, we set up a call. It's usually about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on what is needed. And before they even, we even get on the call, they have to fill out like a little form that I have. It's not too long. It's just so that I can kind of gauge where they're starting from, so that way I can best assist them. Because if I know for a fact that I can't help them, I will definitely refer them over to another OBM who might can assist better. So we have that strategy, and we sit down and we talk about what is it that you are needing help with, and I then tell you, give you a little bit of value, something that can help you right now, and then tell you how I can help further. And from there, then we'll go into a more deep questionnaire, and then we'll have calls to kind of see how we can best set up a strategy in order for us to be able to work together efficiently and smoothly.
Awesome. That's great. So could we speak about before you jumped into the field of customer service? Could you please share us your journey as to the kind of schooling or probably the college which you had been to, or the kind of background? Were you into management, or how did you start to become before being an entrepreneur, before starting your online business, or before doing whatever you're doing right now? How was your journey at the beginning of your career?
Well, I initially, when I went to school at Florida State, go Seminoles, I graduated with a bachelor's in family and child sciences. And
Okay.
I from there, I kind of, did some customer service positions, and I excelled in those positions to the point where I was like a second tier. So, like first step management, we were over like the lower tier employees there. So, there I was able to kind of gain some insight on, of course, the customer service experience, because, of course, you had to start out, learning the business, and then being able to manage a team efficiently. And as I went to a couple of other positions at, like, let's say, for instance, Convergence, Hilton, um, I learned how to actually run a business efficiently. So,
Okay.
because I was actually running the front desk a lot by myself. So being able to have those tools and those stepping stones were great, because I was able to start my own business with that experience already.
Okay. That's awesome. So, who are the most influential people in your life? In fact, I also see that you're pursuing your master's in forensic psychology.
Yes.
Now, how do you manage all these things, or who had influenced you to take up masters in forensic psychology?
Okay, so I once I my last semester at Florida State, I took a criminology course, and it was basically getting into the mind of a serial killer, because Criminal Minds was big then, and I was like, yes, I want to learn about serial killers. But when I started to go through the forensic psychology program, mind you, I had just found out I was pregnant when I enrolled in this program, so that's kind of fun. Um, I found out that there was so much more to that. It wasn't just, oh, you can go be in the FBI, or you can go and do this. You could work with children, you can work with veterans, you can work with a whole spectrum of people. And so my husband has been like my biggest supporter. He's like, "Yeah, honey, go for it. You know, we got this. We can do it." And so I started my forensic psychology field, and I'm learning more and more about it every day, and I'm learning how to incorporate it with my business. So I'm not saying, if somebody I'm working with, I'm gonna profile you and be like, you're a serial killer, obviously. But but knowing that psychology part and how to approach different things and different topics works really well when you're building your own business and as an online business manager. So outside of my husband, I'd say my mom, because if it wasn't for her, I would have never gone into a field where I help people. But she's instilled in me from birth, pretty much, to help others and to be a blessing to others. And so that's what I've been doing all of my life.
Yeah, again, every mom plays an important role in their child's future, the way it's going to shape. So, could you share about the failures? Like, what happened to this concept, entertainment productions? Like, were there any failures, or did you go through any challenges, or what did you learn from them, or is the concept entertainment production? Because I'm a huge fan of anything which is into edutainment, be it education and entertainment combined. But you were into multiple events when you were holding this business. Is it still running, or like were there any setbacks?
Well, I did take some time off in 2020, and the decision was made prior to the pandemic happening, and it was just for my mental health because I was kind of overextending myself and not really wanting to be on the journey at the time. So when I took the time off, it helped me really refocus and be able to observe what was going on. And I kept seeing a lot of businesses kind of struggle with, the closures and um, the clientele dwindling and everything. And so, that really prompted me to get back into the space and helps other business owners. Now, will I say it's been an easy journey? No, I'm learning so much more about myself. I'm learning how to say no more, how to set boundaries, and I'm learning how to be able to tell, like other coaches and other business owners, like it's okay to set these boundaries for your mental health, for your physical health. Because I know for me, a lot of the stress was causing problems with, on my body. I actually made a post about that not too long ago about how in 2018 I fell out at my daughter's school, and it was because I was eating so much and because I was so stressed, and I ended up having to have emergency gallbladder surgery because I was septic and almost, you know, dead on the table. So those making those changes, those mental health changes, those physical changes, um, diet, exercise, all of that good stuff have really helped to make me who I am today. And I know that, because of those experiences, I'm able to help others a lot better.
Awesome. I also just got to know that okay, like the way I shared the poster from your Instagram, which is more colorful, like the sunset, the beautiful sunset or beautiful twilight zone in the nature. Like as a successful entrepreneur, you're juggling multiple things. But I also got to know that you celebrate your birthday in the month of March. So belated birthday wishes
Thank you.
for you. So definitely, everybody out there work on their purpose of helping others. Everybody out there would love to uh, be available for somebody out there. Now, due to the post-pandemic world, now again we all been in quarantine world. There are lots of ways people are dealing with their mental health. Do you have any tips for pandemic parenting? Like, what should parents be doing, be it single mom or single parent? what they should be doing to keep their cash flow continuously, or probably to stay ahead of all the pressure they are getting through social media?
Well, first, I would say take a deep breath. It's okay. It seems like it's stressful now, but it will all work out. I promise. Second, take some time from social media because I mean you're a business owner, and of course, a lot of the time your business is on social media, but it's okay to take a step back because you see a lot of negativity, and it starts to get into you, it gets into your mind, and then it starts affecting your body. Take some detox time. Take time to actually go outside with your children. For me, I every day at around 4 p.m. Eastern, I take some time off, like I unwind, I put down my electronics, and me and my children just walk around our neighborhood. My husband also. That's our exercise for the day. That's our catch up time. Just take some time to take a deep breath and recharge. And then, you know, look at your strategy. Is your strategy working? Are your processes in place? Are your systems in place? If they're looking a bit outdated, then of course we want to change that. And so you want to look at in what ways you can enhance that. So just look at what's working and what's not working. And if you see something that's not working, then change it. I believe that there's no such thing as like failure. It's all an experiment, really. It's just like if you're a scientist and you're going through and you're doing an experiment and it doesn't work the first time, we write down what happened and then we go back and tweak. And then we keep going until we get it right. And that's once you do that, then your cash flow will start coming in consistently.
Yeah, I love the way you put it. Detox, take a deep breath. So, if there's one thing which you wish you had known before you started your career, what would that be? Like now that we know what works, what doesn't work, what is the best way to generate revenue, because of the kind of experiences which we had over the last couple of years. But what is that one thing you wish you had known at the beginning of your career?
Um, I wish I would have known how big social media was going to be, like how effective it was going to be for businesses. Because once I got onto the scene, at first it just seemed like it was just for entertainment or keeping up with family and friends. But it's really a great way to get those referrals, get those customers, and showcase your customer experience process. So that way you can actually start those from right off the bat. Like my customer experience at first was kind of dwindling. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But I learned over time that, you have to have an entrance, the way they interact with you when you enter the company or the business, and the way they exit out. So that way they can keep referring people to you and you keep getting clients and customers. So had I known that like originally in the beginning, I'm pretty sure I would have been like way ahead of this. Way
Like,
ahead.
but like one of the influencers who are super active with, but I guess in the OBM space, you are one of the influencers. So be it 10 followers or numbers doesn't matter. It's only what matters is, are you happy doing what you're doing? And in the OBM space, when I did search, like the way I mentioned, you 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 are on top. I'm like, should I call myself as an OBM, right? Is what I was wondering. So, is there any proudest accomplishment which you had? Like, what is your proudest accomplishment so far? Like, did we? I'm sure we didn't hit $1 million deal so far, but what's your proudest accomplishment? Again, not only in monetary benefits, not only in terms of revenue, but anything which you would say.
I'd say the proudest accomplishment was when it's always when my children come up to me and go, "Mom, we know you have
Uh,
a goal, and I know you're working on your business, and I'm so proud of you." And so when they say that to me, like it just I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing the right thing. I'm on the right track." And not only that, like it's tied with when my clients tell me, I didn't even think of that. Like, you brought me clarity. It's it's like I can breathe, and so those two things are my proudest accomplishments. I love it.
Awesome. In fact, clarity is something which is missing. There's so much of information. People are flooded with uh, way too information through Google and social media. People don't know what to follow, what not to follow. So, if there's something which people had misunderstood from you, uh, so what would that be? So, what's something people seem to misunderstand about you? Because people
um,
stay away. Moment you say, or we start pitching our services online, I've seen it many times. People stay away that we are trying to sell them something which they don't want. Is there anything which people misunderstand about you, Shira?
I think the biggest misconception is that OBMs are like your VA, virtual assistants. So they are supposed to do like all the work, and you're supposed to tell them what to do. With an OBM, we get a better understanding of you. We see your big picture, and we help you get there. Take those puzzle pieces and put them together to make the big picture. And some of us do implement um, the strategies and the processes, but we don't actually just like get in there and do all the little details. That's what a virtual assistant does. We're more so like, let's say if you're a company and you have an executive assistant that's like right under you, or like you're a CEO, oh, you're a president and you have a vice president. We'd be like your vice president. So that's one of the misunderstandings. And then two, I find a lot of the time that they misunderstand um, sometimes me, and they think I want to sell them something, and I'm like, no, I don't want to sell you anything. I really want to help you, because that's I don't want to see you struggle. I see you have children. I see you're wanting to do this thing, or you're wanting to go to this place. You have goals to reach, and I want to help you reach those goals. Um, I mean, money would be great, but it's not the main thing. The main thing is getting you to where you want and need to be.
Yeah, money is again definitely the byproduct. Moment we see the results, people show their gratitude with whatever they achieve based upon the results from your
Exactly.
coaching or guidance, and that's what we see. So, what keeps you inspired, or what makes you feel inspired, or like your best self with whatever burnout everybody is experiencing due to quarantine? Everybody is glued to their screens. Everybody is super, probably I would say, hyperactive. There is a burnout, maybe nurses burnout, a physician burnout in the mental health space. What keeps you inspired, or how do you like your best self?
Well, first prayer and meditation. That's the first thing, and then of course I take some time to listen to music. A lot of the time when I'm working, I have my headphones in and I'm just like, hey, doing the work, because when the music gets into your mind and it gets into your soul, you start feeling a lot better. You start feeling more fluid, less stressed, and you kind of just, go with it. So dancing and music are really my big things. So when you feel like you're stressed and you all constricted because all the stress is in your back and in your neck, and you start to get headaches. So I go and maybe dance a little bit, listen to some music, and I calm myself down, and then I can get started. So
I love that, and that's what I guess. I attended one of these virtual programs of Tony Robbins, where they talk about what businesses should do. It's called the Business Mastery of Anthony Robbins. They also do have the UPW virtual, the Unleash the Power Within, and people spend anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 to learn the same stuff which you just mentioned. Could be the music, the physiology, the way you um, speak to yourself, your inner voice, your talk. Again, also this reminds me of your post, which says, "Don't get caught in the comparison trap." It's not a race, but it's a journey. I love that. There is lots of value addition, and I didn't see any random posts on whatever you shared on your Instagram also, which is good, because always we feel that the grass is always greener on the other side, but do not compare. So, with respect to the kind of website which you had also, so where should one begin with whatever we had spoken? Like if somebody had to start generating leads for their business, apart
Mhm.
from the strategy call, um, apart from the clarity, where should one begin, Share, as a
Well,
business
first,
entrepreneur?
okay. I was gonna say, well, first you want to start looking at your customer experience. Um, you want to make sure that from the time they hear about your business, that they have a positive experience. Like, so if I'm looking online and I'm reviewing your company, your business, and I see that you have a 1-star rating, or you have you've had a lot of drama in the media, you definitely want to fix that. You want to resolve that, because if a person sees that, they're going to be turned off from your business right away. So make sure that from the time they interact with you to the time they leave, that they have the best customer experience that you can offer them. And sometimes not everybody's going to be happy with your service, even if you give them the best customer service and experience. And so what you want to do is take the negative feedback that you receive, find the juicy bits of it. So a lot of the time, you might get a whole paragraph worth of stuff, and the first few sentences might just be them going off. But there's always something of value to take from that. And you take that and you implement it into your customer experience, and it starts to flow a lot easier. So that's where your leads will come in, especially that word of mouth referrals. Those will come in right at that experience.
Awesome. I love that. Again, I guess Amazon is something which works on that, the execution part or the implementation part, uh, taking the customer feedback or taking the customer experience. I remember the story, like the way you narrated reminds me of the story of the board meetings where this CEO, again, Jeff Bezos, always keeps an empty chair in all the meetings, and this that particular chair is uh, for the customer. In fact, even if the customer is not available in the room, he wanted others to know that from the customer's perspective, what would that idea look like? What would that data points look like? So the customer perspective is something which everybody should be looking at. Thank you so much for bringing that, Shara. So again,
Yes.
this would be the last question for the day.
Okay.
Uh, Again, if anybody had to reach you out, uh, what would be the best place? Again, that same thing which I had on the website. So could you please let our clinician audience or anybody who would be watching the replay or snippets of this social media bites of being a successful OBM, do you also train OBMs, or do you accept uh, calls for training other people to be an OBM?
Now I don't train OBMs, but I do, help them on their journey. We all connect with each other because there's several different types of OBMs. So we all connect with each other so that we can, refer each other to businesses as much as we can. But if you want to connect with me, you can connect with me on my website, ShiaraMcCulloughOBM.com. I'm
Yeah.
also on Facebook, Shiara McCullough OBM, as well as Instagram and LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much. That's again, I do see that on the website. Let me share that right away. But again, it's inspiring. I don't know if you have it's the team which does. So for other women out there, do you do all this by yourself, or do you have a team, or you spend thousands of dollars making somebody manage all this for you, or how do you juggle is how do you juggle this stuff?
Well, right now, I'm a one woman show, but in the future, I do plan on hiring a virtual assistant and an OBM as well. Um, and a lot of the juggling is just comes down to really time management. Um, Almost every hour of my day is planned, but I also build in time for flexibility because with three children, life never goes as planned. Um, so I always make time for that flexibility in case I need to rearrange my schedule. So that works.
Thank you, Shara. Thank you sharing your short and sweet story with our clinician network. In fact, if there is a therapist, if there is a counselor who is into running their own private practice, definitely I would let them know about you, the kind of strategy calls or the discovery calls which would help them. Definitely, as I had gone through the 90-day action plan, whatever you have with them, and definitely money is going to be the byproduct of whatever the results which we are going to see. So thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you for being here. And if anybody is watching the replay, or if you're going to hit the replay, do share your feedback in the comment section. And we will see you with another episode of Direct Shift Stories very soon. This is Dr. Forrest Jones, one of our well wishers. Thank you, Dr. Forrest Jones, for watching this live. He's an amazing physician, or probably he's also from the Chi Town from Illinois. Our CEO. I do remember the talk which we had with Dr. Forrest Jones. He is into the hospice care or elderly. He does have conversation with the elderly, end of life conversations. Again, I get goosebumps when I remember a couple of clinician talks. Again, you would Shara, you would. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for going to
Thank
visit
you.
the website. Thank you, Dr. Forrest Jones, for your support, for your continued support. He's going
Thank
to
you.
visit the website. That'll be Shara, Shara, Sharam? No,
McCullough. No.
Shara M. Okay, that's your middle name. Shara M. McCullough.obm.com. I
Yes.
mean, your name is easier to pronounce, but the website is because of the characters.
It's
Uh,
all together. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
mine is getting confused. But thank you, Dr. Forrest Jones, for all your support. We need, in fact, Forrest Jones, he was a physician for over 40 years. He has got amazing network. Again, oh, okay, he's also helping us with the website. Thank you. He did type that in. Okay, glad to see that. But thank you so much, Shira. Again, probably I'll catch up with you maybe next month in the month of April. But thank you so much for being part of this LinkedIn Live and sharing your journey. Awesome. I wish lots of success for your three kids. And thank a big thank you to your husband who takes you at 4 p.m. walks. I should remind, I should remind my spouse to do that. Probably I need that detox in my life
Yes.
because I get glued to achieving my metrics, achieving my results for whatever I do at direct shifts. It's not only it's again end of the day it's number game, but more than the number game, it's about the brand awareness, the kind of active audience which we bring onto our direct shifts AI job board platform. Though
Yes.
on our platform we do have over 100,000 clinicians. In fact, we do have over 500,000 clinicians on the platform, but uh, we are working on making the active audience out there. So we are trying to bringing more and more clinicians onto the platform who are active. So we do connect clinicians to the employers, and we do have few hospitals in our network. be it Mount Sinai. Also, we help with better help with the staffing. So if somebody needs therapists or counselors, again, please feel free to check out directshifts.com. And if you want to be part of, if you would like to share anything to our audience, is there anything like do you have any last minute things like which you want to share with our audience, Shara?
Um, just make sure that you're taking care of your health. Um, because a lot of the times as business owners, we let that fall by the wayside. So please, 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 even if you can't go walking, do like a 10-minute exercise video, or eat a banana, eat a protein shake. Um, Something to start that process of getting your health under control, because you don't want to end up like me in the hospital. So make sure you do that. And the last thing I wanted to say, that comparison trap post was actually posted by the Transformation Guru, and you can find her on Instagram and Facebook as well. And she has been a really good inspiration to me. And so I wanted to make sure that she got her credit for that post, not me.
Yeah, we do all. We always have our friends and family in the network whom we get inspired by. But thank you so much for sharing that, because we miss. Everybody has their own network. Everybody has their own space. Thank you so much again for bringing that valuable insights of taking care not only of the physical, mental health space again. Thank you so much, Shara.
My
I'll
pleasure.
talk to you soon. And thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for tuning in. And you can also catch this Direct Shift Stories episode on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. You can listen to the same conversation on the multiple platforms. Thank you so much, Shira. I'll talk to you soon. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for everybody who's tuning in. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.